What's good? In the month of April, we processed over $80,000. I didn't have 100,000 followers, didn't have any viral videos, and I ran 0 ads. And I did this all with 7,000 followers, and I'm about to show you exactly how, which doesn't include listening to common content guru advice. I didn't post 3 times a day, steal any viral hooks, and I certainly didn't use any secret Instagram setting. I simply doubled down on these 3 principles and everything flipped on its head. If I can go from just another content guru to a uniquely positioned authority in arguably the most saturated niche, social media marketing, imagine what you can do in your niche. Now, I'm not saying any of this to brag. It's just to show you how powerful these 3 principles are. And it all starts with principle 1, the principle that's most responsible for printing you cash: value. Now, you've probably heard of value 1,000 times, but I'm sure you've never heard it explained like this. Because there's actually 2 types of value on social media. And 99% of creators and founders are using the one that's sabotaging their income, which is value type 1, actionable tips. Now, this is what everybody does. Step-by-step tutorials, how to build a website. Here's the one thing you gotta change in your emails. Walkthroughs going through every step. I mean, it sounds smart, right? Give people actionable advice that allows them to make money on their own, so eventually they'll buy from you. But in reality, here's what actually happens. You spend hours creating the perfect tutorial and you just give everything to them. They watch, they learn, they got what they came here for, and they disappear forever. Only giving actionable value is a one-way ticket to get only freeloaders who will never pay you money for your expertise. Because you've satiated their desire. They have no reason to stick around anymore or buy anything from you. We want them to be hungry as fuck, so they'll pounce on any offer, product, or lead magnet you throw their way. And if it's actually helping them, you're doing them a favor. This is what the second type of value does, and it changes everything. Value type 2, insights. Give a man a fish and you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish and you'll feed him for the rest of his life. But we don't want to do either. We're not going to give him fish and we're not going to teach him how to fish. And we're going to tell him that both are wrong. And in reality, he should learn how to haul 50 fish at the same time so he can feed his entire village. You want to open up their eyes and tell them their belief is wrong. And right now I'm doing this to you. I'm shattering your belief that you need millions of followers or viral content to actually make real money on social media. And by giving you value in the form of insight, you have hundreds of questions pop up. How did he do it? What type of content is he posting? Is he a fucking scam? Is there something I'm missing? The hunger and curiosity you're feeling right now makes a world of difference. This is what creates huge initiative to take your call to action. Whether it's a CTA to get a lead magnet, buy your products or services, share your content, or just binge through all your content. It's like watching the first episode of Breaking Bad.
You want to cook crystal meth?
You don't just watch episode 1 and call it quits. You're hooked, or at least I was, and you have to know what happens next. And viewers come back to watch more and more videos. You're gonna occupy more mental real estate completely rent-free. But here's the thing, if you're only giving insightful value without giving actionable sauce, people will eventually catch on and just give up on finding answers as a whole. So you don't want that either. Don't go 100% tips because no one's gonna buy, and don't go 100% all insights because people think you're just all talk. It's all about balance. And let's say you post 4 times a week. Super simple. We can have 2 videos that have insightful value, and we can have 2 videos that have actionable value. Or 4 videos with a mix of insights and actionable tips within the same video. This keeps them fed enough to stick around, but hungry enough to come back every single time. Now, I know this sounds a little bit manipulative, but I promise you, people will actually thank you if you're creating content that's worth watching. It's more fun. It's kind of like TV shows. But a whole new issue arises when you do this. You have this golden nugget, and let's say both you and some random broke college kid giving out this exact same golden nugget, and you guys film it exactly the same. When you guys post it, no one can tell you guys apart. This is really how saturation occurs and kills creators. Clones just pop up everywhere, and then viewers just start developing a defense mechanism. So every time they see you or someone who looks really similar, they just scroll past so they're not wasting their time. Now, in an opposite example, let's say both you and Warren Buffett give the same investing advice. Now, when it comes from you, everyone's just gonna ignore you. But when it comes out of Warren, everyone's like, oh, this is gold, and they just start praying to it. And that's all because of principle 2. Principle 2 will allow you to cement yourself in the Mount Rushmore of your niche, ladies and gentlemen. And it is proof. People don't remember what you taught them, they remember who you are. Think about Alex Hormozi. When I say his name, you don't remember the specific frameworks or that one tip he gave in that one podcast. You think about his story, his success, his credibility. And here's the brutal truth. If you share information without proof, you're just an information broker. You're forgettable. You're completely forgettable. But when you provide proof of who you are and what you've accomplished, you create a lasting impression, a brand, if you will. Like, oh, that's the guy who scaled an 8-figure econ business in China. Or, oh, that's the guy who co-owns WAP and made millions off courses. But proof doesn't just make you memorable, because according to Alex Hormozi's value equation, which is the dream outcome times the perceived likelihood of achievement divided by the time and effort. What proof functionally does is increase the perceived likelihood of achievement. This also means viewers can spend less effort watching videos because they don't need to think about, oh, is this guy actually trustworthy? And they can just focus on learning. This fundamentally makes makes your value more valuable. And here's the 4 types of proof you can use in your content. 1, stories. This is sharing your own experiences, results, and successes.
I made my first $100,000 when I was 23 years old when I opened my first gym location.
2, social proof. So this is other people sharing your successes, accomplishments, and experiences that you've helped them gain.
This here is my student Savannah, okay? She joined 3 months ago. She did 5.2 in the last 3 days. Now, if you do the math on that, 5 times 10, she's on track for a $50,000 month.
3, demonstration. Showing yourself executing the skill that you're teaching.
So here's how I made the ship for Plunder. Normally in pixel art, if you want a character to face different directions, you have to redraw them for each angle.
And 4, external proof. This is third-party evidence to support your claims.
So if you look at their content, there are actually 0 videos demoing how WAP actually works, but that's by design. Instead, they show the common struggles of being broke, arguing with your parents, failing at business over and over again, but also life on the other side after all that stuff by sharing success stories from TJR, Blake, and Neil making millions of dollars a month.
And each form of proof can be expressed in 2 ways. Orally, aka what you say, and visually, aka what you see. And under the visual component, there's image and then there's video. So orally is just you talking about your stories, your social proof, your demonstration, your research. And when possible, you want to show it, aka express it visually. So screenshots of the money you made, videos of you consulting another person, and recordings of you doing a skill live. So here's the actionable value. Every time you make a claim, step 1, you're going to choose one of the 4 types of proof that you can implement. Is there a personal story I can share about this? Have I helped someone else do this? Can I show myself doing the skill live? And is there research or other resources I can pull together to support my claims? Then step 2, you're going to add that proof into your script. And step 3, you're going to ask yourself, do I have some sort of image or video that I can use and tell the editor to put in the video to support my claims? For example, in this video, my claim was social media is very unfair because you don't know who's watching your video. Mark Cuban could be watching your videos for all you know. So for the remainder of the video, I told the story of how I met an 8-figure entrepreneur who's giving me free sauce just because I was posting videos online. And I had the editor use videos and screenshots of our conversation as proof to support my claims. Or here, where Hormozy's claim was,
Sell to rich people until you have the money to sell all the poor people. The middle is where you get killed.
and he supported it with external proof.
There is a reason that Tesla started at the top. They started only selling to rich people. They had the Roadster, which is $250,000. And so they sold those, and then he was able to go down market 1 and sell $100,000 cars to just upper echelon of society, the wealthy.
Okay, great. Now you understand proof. So we have this golden value and we put it on steroids because we layered proof into the video. This means you've created a ton of authority. But we have one last problem. You post your video and nobody watches. Reality hits you like a brick. Not because your content sucks, but because you're competing with cat videos, memes, and half-naked influencers trying to steal everybody's attention. You have 3 seconds. That's it. 3 seconds to beat out everything else to tell the viewer that you deserve their attention. But here's where most creators and founders get it wrong. They think it's just about stealing viral hooks. If I'll just steal this successful hook, I'll go viral. Wrong. If it were really that simple, I'd be milking the hell out of it right now. But the truth of the matter is you're just gonna sound like everybody else who steals like an artist. So it's really not about the hook. It's about principle 3, packaging. Packaging is actively choosing to share the most relevant and interesting information about your video topic. Now it sounds vague, but if you just stay with me for 2 minutes, I guarantee you'll understand it and it'll change your life. So imagine walking into a Volkswagen dealership, right? They show you 2 cars and both have the same amazing, beautiful, roaring V12. But one engine is stuffed into an ugly ass Volkswagen Golf. The other is wrapped in a stunning Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Got my wings out. Same engine, same performance, but one can charge 10 times the price. Why? Packaging is everything. Your insights are the engine, but the packaging is the body that's gonna turn heads when you go through downtown. A hook is just the words you say. Psychology is understanding what's going on in your viewer's mind at that exact moment. And let me show you exactly how this works. So I was scripting out a video breaking down Sam Millsap, who's huge in the online biz ops space. My original hook was this guy used a Snapchat content strategy to make $15 million at 22. But it sounded like every other, this guy made a lot of money video. But then I remember something. I remember at this given time, there was a meme going around about coaches coaching coaches. So I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. Let me change my hook. So I changed my hook to
This coach that coaches your favorite coach's coach uses the Snapchat content strategy to make $15 million at 22.
same information, completely different packaging. And the video ended up being my second best performing video ever. And the comments show that this packaging worked because the top comment was referencing this exact meme. So here's the framework you're gonna use to create irresistible packaging. Step 1, write down your basic hook. And I'm actually gonna use a hook that I wrote for a client. Let's say the first hook I thought of was, this girl made 8 figures from her business. Now, step 2, you're gonna ask yourself, what additional information can I reveal to make this more interesting? Now, interest is created when you take them as far away as how they're feeling right now, aka their baseline emotional state. So you can go super high or positive This girl turned her passion into an 8-figure empire. Or super negative. This girl didn't make a single dime from her 8-figure business. But the magic happens when you do fucking both. This girl turned her high school coffee addiction to a 8-figure empire, but she hasn't made a single dime from it because she's playing a completely different game. So first I bring you super high, then I bring you super low, and then I bring you high again. And this is how you create tension, just like the best storytellers in the world and movie directors in the world. And they're able to hold your attention for hours on end. And lastly, step 3, test and refine. It took me 5 to 10 minutes just to nail down that one single hook. But it is so worth it because most creators spend 30 seconds on the hook and wonder why it doesn't work. The first 3 sentences, that initial 20% is more important than the last 80% because no one will realize how good your last 80% is if they don't watch the first 20%. Without the right packaging, viewers will never give you the permission to share the value. They'll scroll past your insights, ignore your proof, and never see your offer. But when you master packaging, everything changes. Now, what I share with you is only just scratching the surface. Value-proof packaging are only the foundational steps to become a creator founder that prints ready-to-buy leads while you sleep. How do you come up with content ideas that have the potential to go viral and attract your dream clients? When should I make professionally shot talking heads versus selfie videos? How do I create a content strategy that I can actually stick with and actually get results? Those are all questions I'm going to answer because I've spent the last 2 years building the system and I've searched far and wide on YouTube. Nobody is giving this amount of sauce for free. That's why I created an entire masterclass that breaks down the entire content creation process for creator founders. Every strategy, every framework you need. This is the blueprint that took me from just another faceless guru to making 80K in a month. So if you're ready, you can click here to watch it. I'll see you there. And I hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.